Welcome to Princeton Violins. I'm Jarek Powichrowski, and I would like today to introduce my great guest, Mr. T.S. Krishnamurthy, who came from Bangalore, India. And we met first time about a year ago, right?
Yeah, about a year ago when I desperately wanted to get my violin repaired. I had a concert and I came in real urgency and I met him and he did a great job. And that's how I met him actually.
Yes, and after that I found out that Mr. Krishnamurthy was playing several concerts here in area, and he was also teaching. So I got very interested in his work and invited him again. And I would like to ask you actually, what are you doing with your music, both in India and here in the United States?
Actually, I play Carnatic style of music, which is one of the premier Indian music, and I play a violin in that. And after my engineering, I continued on my passion, and somehow God allowed me to pursue my passions. It's very hard to pursue passions. And I play solo concerts as well as accompanying several local people. After that I saw there's a lot of need for violinists in US, and a lot of people invited me to come and teach violin here. So last 4 or 5 years I'm here to teach violin to several people in Texas and as well as in New Jersey, New York area.
Oh, that's great. I didn't know you're going to Texas. So by education you're an engineer, right?
Yeah, I'm an engineer by profession.
That's great. Yeah, I end up making violins, but I'm much closer to that. I'm a violinist first, and then became a violin restorer and maker. But tell me what, I think you came with a violin again, and what seems to be a problem today with an instrument?
I have a vibration near whenever I play near the adjusters, the miniature adjusters, and as well as I have some problems with the fingerboard. So that's the reason.
Let's take a look. It's a nice German violin. In pretty good condition. The back seam was open at some point, but it's good. Yeah. The ribs are pushing away.
Okay.
And that might, there's definitely opening. And as I tap here, the tailpiece is giving a lot of vibration. That gut is too long, and probably some screws are a little bit loose. And generally there's just too much metal on it. There's just too much metal on it. So I would suggest to, if I know that you need those micro tuners for tuning, how about we will change to a tailpiece that is much lighter and doesn't have as much metal. This
is the very purpose I come here. You are one. By just having a look of it, you will be able to identify the problem. And to be very frank, I am so scared even to show my violins to others because they might even spoil it. So you look everything in such a professional way. I think whatever needs to be done, I think you can go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I would be definitely happy to help. Also, that fingerboard here, there is a big opening, and it was not fitted properly ever, and there is so much glue inside that when the humidity will come at summer, I'm afraid it might just glue. It just open. I mean, there should be almost no glue. It should be fitted very well. And somebody just decided to fill the opening with the glue, which is not the best idea. I mean, it holds for a while, but eventually it will give its way.
Tell me something about how do we maintain a violin in different environments, like very cold area, very hot region. How do we maintain it?
Well, first of all, everything, most parts of the violins are wood. So we glue everything with hide glue that is animal glue and is dissolved in water. And the reason for that is that we want it to be reversed when we need it. So all the wooden parts, if there's a need for reparation, we can either dissolve the glue or we can just crack it very easily at the seams and open the instrument. But unfortunately, very often what people do fitting the parts, they cannot fit it very well, so they fill it with glue, and too much glue is a problem.
Mm-hmm. Because I'll be carrying this all around the world, wherever I perform. So I go in very, very cold areas, like when I perform in New Jersey, it's minus 20 degrees to plus
this winter only.
this winter only it is very, very difficult. And it's basically wood, and I'm so scared. So how do we take care of this?
Well, we definitely have to eliminate the problem of openings and take out the glue, fit the wood better, and close it. That's the first thing. Another thing is that almost every violin periodically can open. The seams can open due to the fact that you touch it with your hand, and hand generates heat and generates humidity. So that could happen. But if it's a small opening, it's very easy to close, then we do a little varnish touch-up and it should hold for a very, very long time. But generally, instruments that have structural problems, either the problem should be taken care of or you should avoid instruments like that.
Thank you. That's very, very essential for me. How do we port it? Is this kind of boxes are okay to port that to different areas, or do we have a very stronger boxes to?
Well, any case that is hard is good enough. You know, I mean, I hate people saying carrying cellos in the soft cases, which are not really protecting cases; they're just carrying cases. With violin, we don't have that problem very often. But generally, try not to expose violin to too much heat and humidity. But and that winter, give it a little bit of humidity, running humidifier in your house. That's a very good idea. Cold weather, like low temperatures, do not have such a huge effect. If you bring instrument from very cold into the room, just try not to open it immediately. Give it a little time, so the temperature will get even. And even when you open it a little bit, maybe for 5 minutes.
Leave it open.
Leave it open like that, and only after that start tuning. But violins are not really that vulnerable. They becoming vulnerable if they have some open wounds.
Oh, okay.
Then the problem starts. But once the violin is fixed correctly, no weather should affect it.
No,
that much, I mean, that it will fall apart. Of course, it will affect the sound too. When humidity will come, the violin will swell, and the sound post will become shorter.
Yeah, I remember when I met you first time, the same thing happened. The sound post was down and I had to come rushing here, and you had to fix the sound post. I remember that.
Well, the sound post adjustment is an amazing thing because you can do so much with a couple of pokes, but sometimes just pokes. Very often it's also actually trimming the sound post or cutting a new sound post. The relation between sound post and the bridge is very important for the sound and balance of sound on the instrument. Also strings, the type of strings. So there's few things we could do with your violin. I can see that the bridge does not fit perfectly. It's a little bit thick. Maybe newer strings or different type of strings could also affect the sound. So there's a lot of things that we can do with this instrument without opening it and doing too many drastic things. But yes, we can do it.
Thank you. I would like you to do that and help you.
Okay. So we will we'll put everything on paper and I'll give you the receipt and you will know what to do with an instrument. And how long do you think you could leave it for?
Probably a day or two. How long does that
Well, these few things we can do within a day or two. I can see that also the seam might be open under the tailpiece, so we should take the tailpiece out anyways. I see a white line which indicates the seam is open. But we will see after. I will take it apart. Great.
Anything else you want to ask me?
About the violin, or I'm so curious about your
if you have any
music life.
Music life it's very hard for an artist to pursue a passion, and I've been traveling hectically from India to here and come twice in a year to this place.
Twice a year.
Once in spring break and once I come in summer. And I generally come here to teach violin, and when I come for teaching, in the weekends I do performances. I fix the performance center. Now I met you, I would like to teach the people who are surrounding Princeton Violins through Princeton Violins, and who is interested, they can always contact him and be there, and I'll be here anywhere between spring and in summer.
I tell you what, generally I do not, people ask me if I teach. I do not teach, not only because I don't have a time, but even if I would have a time, that would be conflict of interest. I don't want to steal students from teachers and stuff like that. So that's also very important for me. I try to keep it very professional and very honest with clients and with teachers and with kids and everything. I do have like a rental program for children. I do care about having here good students as a client. But what I'm doing is I have the bulletin board, and I encourage teachers to leave them information. With you, we already sent about 1,000 emails to our database to people telling about your activities in New Jersey, and this little video clip that we are doing right now, I would like to use for that purpose as well. I will definitely shoot emails with a link to that video clip that we are doing right now, encouraging people to contact you and see your schedule of performances and teaching.
Absolutely no problem. You're always welcome, and I'd like to do this through Princeton Violins.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
of the 5 Ganaragas of Carnatic classical music. This is one of the Ganaragas, the chaste ragas of Carnatic music. All the 5 ragams, 5 different things are there.
So the title was, is there a title to that?
They are just ragams, different ragams.
Different ragams. Yeah, while I watched playing you, I was thinking like, you must have in India that kind of music and melodies on different instruments, because the violin is fairly modern instrument. I mean, about 400 years. So before that, you probably use another instrument. Is there something similar in India to violin that was used before?
Veena is there. There is a veena which was used by goddess Saraswati. From that time, the veena was used. The people used to use something called as Dhanur veena, which I have not seen actually. But about 300-400 years back, the violin came into the whole thing, and in Carnatic style, somebody started using it.
That's fascinating. That's amazing.
A Western instrument was brought to the Indian Carnatic music, and they implemented it into the whole.
Yeah, the violin is such a incredible instrument, such a versatile instrument that actually after in Brescia, Maggini and Nicola Amati actually developed the modern violin, which happened 400 years ago. Then immediately violin made such a huge career.
Exactly.
And I'm so glad it got to India, because you can make such a great music with it. It sounds great.
I'd like to play something in your violin. Give me one of your violin.
Okay. Okay. Well,
I might have to retune that. I'll retune it too.
Yes, you are very welcome to do that. I'm sure you it will not hurt the instrument. This is Romelio Muncher from Cremona, 1921. So it's Italian violin. It's not as old as Amati, but sounds great. It's a great violin.